is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Thursday, August 6th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
We are the silent majority, but I believe that we need to speak up and use our voices for our law enforcement officers.
Families defending law enforcement, why they say they are not against reform, but why they believe change needs to make sense and be balanced.
But you cannot do what you did to my son and tell me it was right.
It took weeks on repeated requests, but the autopsy request for Drajon Reid is now in the hands of his mother.
It scares me every day for our staff and for our students.
And students and teachers are back together in the classroom this morning. Why some teachers are concerned with the CDC's guidelines. And I want to thank you for joining our team here at 6 o'clock. It is Thursday, and Raphael, good morning to you down in Johnson County. We've had a great week of weather.
Where has the week really gone?
I know.
Lauren, good morning to you, right? Alyssa Donovan has been filling in for our Todd Clausen. And Alyssa, another great day to be outdoors. Why spend it here in the RTV6 living room when you could be outside right now having a good time?
Yeah,
so, hey, see you later.
Yeah, you need to set up you need to set up an outdoor setting for you, Raphael, because it is beautiful outside today, similar to what we saw yesterday with those temperatures starting in the 50s across the area this morning. 59 right now in Indianapolis, a little cooler to the north where we are seeing that northwest flow of that cooler Canadian air continuing to impact the area today. As we head through the day, starting with those clear and sunny skies for many of us this morning, and then we do just have a little bit of cloud coverage for areas to the southeast of us due to a disturbance just to the south there. Besides that, though, high pressure is in control today. That northwest flow helping keep that dry air in place, which means we're going to see low humidity, another comfortable day when it comes to those humid air masses that are just way to the south of us. Those are not going to impact us quite yet, but they are going to start creeping up as we head into the next couple days here. Looking at our next 3 days, 79 for the high today, mostly sunny skies, a little bit more cloud coverage this afternoon, but overall wonderful weather day. Friday, great as well, warming up a little bit, 82 for our high, and then Saturday, more humid air filters in, chances of showers and storms this weekend.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic. If you're waking up and getting ready to head to work this morning, this is a live look on the northwest side at I-65 and 56th Street. You can see traffic there is traveling smoothly, both northbound and southbound. No issues to slow you down. Raphael?
Lauren, knew this morning the protests demanding police reforms may have simmered, but people continue to call for change. And this morning, the families of police officers are asking to be involved in discussions before any decisions are made. Emily Nimps takes it one day at a time.
We are the silent majority, but I believe that we need to speak up and use our voices for our law enforcement officers.
Her husband, Benjamin, was killed in a crash July the 21st, 2019, while serving in law enforcement in Florida. He planned on moving to Indiana to join Emily and their 2 children. Now Emily has become an advocate for families and those in public safety.
They go out daily knowing that they're going to see things that they're going to carry with them for the rest of their lives, and they do that for the love of their community.
We spoke to Emily and Greg Pitts on Zoom. Greg's brother, Rob, was a police officer in Terre Haute, killed in the line of duty on May the 4th, 2018.
We need to stand up and have a voice for our officers.
Both Greg and Emily condemn what happened to George Floyd in Minnesota. Both oppose the call to drop the qualified immunity, which protects officers from certain lawsuits.
I realize that with any occupation, you're going to have 1 or 2 bad apples here and there, but you can't deem a whole profession by just what a few people do. And the good officers out there that are doing their jobs every day, you know, they don't agree with what these bad officers are doing.
Whether you want to call it a reform or a modification, however you want to say it, you are taking away the officers' ability to properly and safely do their jobs. And not just that, their families. You are now asking them to risk the livelihoods of their families at home.
The Lafayette police chief wants to see more research on the impact of any potential changes to qualified immunity before there's a rush to judgment.
I wouldn't want a bad police officer operating on our streets, whether it's in my department or any other department.
While politicians and protesters weigh in on the issue, the families of Benjamin and Rob remember their sacrifice and their public service. The Indiana Association of Chiefs of Police have weighed in on this issue, expressing concerns about making any changes to qualified immunity without ever being at the table to have the discussion. Indiana Senator Mike Braun did propose making changes to qualified immunity and withdrew his plan. His statement in part to WRTV6 says, "I am not going to push this bill further without input from law enforcement." Lauren?
Raphael, it's 6:05, and today marks 3 months since an IMPD officer shot and killed Drajon Reid on the northwest side of Indianapolis after a chase. And for the first time, Reid's family received his autopsy report.
You couldn't stand here and read it without wanting to throw up. And I promise you, I've been a nurse for 20 years. I'm not stupid.
That's Reid's mother sharing her reaction to reading the report. Dimitri Wynn started asking for the report right after the deadly shooting on May 6th. IMPD says that Reid fired a weapon at the officer who shot back, killing the 21-year-old. Attorneys for his estate say Reid did not fire a weapon. They say they had to fight a special prosecutor assigned to this case over the release of the autopsy report.
She believed that releasing the report will harm the investigation. We don't know how that can be, but that's what she stated.
We forced their hand and they had to release this report.
The special prosecutor says the state petitioned the court to allow for the completion of the investigation before the release of that report. This morning, you can read her full statement on this issue by downloading the RTV6 app.
Lord, our Call 6 Investigates team has been on top of the latest developments in the Drajon Reid case from the very beginning. As we reported exclusively back in June, the gun found by Mr. Reid's body was just like the one seen in his Facebook Live video stream on the day of the incident. Call 6 Investigates has also reported that in the exchange of gunfire, Reid shot twice at the officer and that the officer fired at least 10 rounds. A ballistics report also indicated that the casings from the weapon found near Mr. Reid's body are similar to casings involving property damage at a different incident.
Well, from COVID-19 to the Black Lives Matter protests across the country, what's happening right now, it's one day going to be in our history books. And so our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live with how an Indiana landmark plans to highlight this time in our history. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So for months, boards covered the windows of Silver in the City with the names of Black people who lost their lives to police brutality or to racial acts. And now those boards are down, but they're going to live at the Indiana State Museum. Here's a look at those boards as they hung on the windows of Silver in the City. These boards, along with countless others from around the city, painted by Black artists, will be saved for an exhibit at the Indiana State Museum. Kathy Faree is the CEO and president of the museum, and she says the exhibit they have planned will be unlike any other.
It really will be an experience rather than a exhibit in terms of things to do. We'll provide stools so that you can pick them up and sort of sit in the space and be in the space and have a chance to sort of wrap your head around what might be happening. And really, this is a time for people to be introspective about what they can do or what they might be able to do to help make a difference.
Faree says they are working as quickly as they can to get the gallery up and running, but they want to make sure it's done correctly, so they don't have a specific date in mind just yet. Now, Faree does say that the museum is open and they are doing everything they can to keep you and their staff safe. Masks are required and they have sanitizer stations throughout the entire museum. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. As the national dialogue about racial disparities in policing and society continues, we want to help continue the conversation. Every Tuesday this month, RTV6 and Radio 1 will host a discussion exploring racial issues in central Indiana. Next, on August 11th, panelists will talk about the current racial climate in our community. The discussion starts at 5 p.m. on the RTV6 Facebook page that is set for next Tuesday.
We now turn to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic and its impact right here on our state. This morning, state health officials confirmed 740 new COVID-19 cases. Since the pandemic, nearly 70,000 people in Indiana have tested positive for COVID-19. The state health department also says 12 more Hoosiers died from the virus. Since the pandemic began, more than 2,800 Hoosiers have died from COVID-19. Lauren?
And Raphael, as the pandemic continues to impact Hoosier families, many are just struggling to pay their bills. On Wednesday, Governor Eric Holcomb announced that he will let the moratoriums on rent and utility bills expire. That's scheduled to happen next Friday. In response, Holcomb says the state is adding $15 million to its rental assistance program. State leaders also say a new program to help tenants and landlords is being developed. More details on the program are expected to be announced in the coming weeks.
Students returning to the classroom across central Indiana. So coming up at 6:16, why some teachers say they don't feel comfortable with the CDC guidelines. But first, let's check your forecast on this Thursday morning with our very own Alyssa Donovan. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Raphael. It is going to be a gorgeous day again. Temperatures climbing just close to 80 degrees. Plenty of sunshine today. We're going to continue that warming trend this weekend. More humidity by the weekend as well. I'll break down all the details coming up. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It is 6:13. Here's a live look at I-465 and West Washington Street. A look on the west side where traffic's picking up in all directions this morning. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any trouble spots for your Thursday commute. So, Raphael, this morning, state officials are answering questions about transparency. That's when it comes to the COVID-19 pandemic in our schools.
And Lauren, as you know, my wife's a school teacher. She goes back to school this morning, and she and her friends want this information. The state's top doctor explaining why positive cases among students and staff members are not being tracked for now.
We understand that there's a lot of interest in knowing about positive cases in schools, but there are a number of issues at play that we are considering as we think about this. First, many of these cases will involve minors, which requires us to look carefully at what data can be shared and how. Secondly, unlike long-term care, we have to navigate both HIPAA and FERPA privacy rules.
When asked about those privacy rules, Dr. Christina Box clarified that officials are not certain that tracking cases would be a violation, but she says they don't want to commit to doing something until potential legal constraints are all sorted out. Of course, working for you here at RTV6, RTV6 has created a searchable database to track confirmed COVID-19 cases by school districts across central Indiana. You can find it on our website, theindychannel.com.
Well, Raphael, as school districts return to in-person learning, some teachers and parents are worried about the guidelines set in place for contact tracing after positive COVID-19 cases. So far, positive cases have popped up in towns like Avon, Brownsburg, and Greenfield. Those schools are still in session, but district leaders are working with the health department to notify the families and reach out to anyone who may have had close contact with the person who tested positive. Now, some teachers are questioning the definition of close contact. They say not everyone who interacts with the person who tested positive was told to stay home.
In that case, if I have been next to your child for 3 5-minute time frames and I test positive, then that is not considered close contact for your child, and they will continue to stay at school.
So we reached out to the Hendricks County Health Department about this policy. They say those who had close contact with the infected person for fewer than 15 minutes have a much lower risk of contracting the virus.
This morning, police across the Hoosier State say they're stepping up patrols to crack down on drivers who pass those school bus stop arms. The Indiana Criminal Justice Institute will provide grants for the increased patrols. The institute says school bus drivers in Indiana see more than 2,500 drivers blow past those stop arms every day. Last year, Indiana lawmakers, they boosted penalties for stop arm violations. The increased penalties followed a 2018 deadly crash, killing 3 students boarding a school bus in Fulton County. It is now time to check your forecast. Alyssa Donovan, we are looking at an absolutely beautiful day. The humidity is down and the cool temperatures will reign supreme.
Yes, that's right. It's going to be a wonderful day. Definitely want to spend some portion of your day outside. 59 degrees to start Here in Indianapolis this morning, light winds out of the north, that's helping filter in some of that cooler air. Kokomo at 54 and Bloomington at 59. We do have a little bit of cloud coverage across the area this morning. That's mostly to the south of us this morning. That's due to a passing disturbance that moved through last night. The rest of this, though, clear skies to start and high pressure in control today with that northwesterly flow helping keep that cooler Canadian air creeping into the area throughout much of our Thursday. Looking ahead, as we head into the noon hour, we'll warm very quickly with those temperatures because we're going to see those clear and sunny skies. That sunshine will help that daytime heating and get our temperatures close to the mid 70s by the noon hour. This afternoon, a little bit more cloud coverage will make its way into the forecast, similar to what we saw yesterday, with just some cumulus clouds developing in the afternoon. Not going to impede the sunshine too much. We're still going to see some really nice conditions outside. Highs today will creep into the mid and upper 70s. Some areas to the south could see those temperatures creeping up into the low 80s, really due to how much sunshine we see across the area today. If we see more sunshine, could see those temperatures just a smidge higher. Next, we are going to see warm and humid air filtering in from the south. This is going to happen on Saturday and Sunday. So tomorrow, still going to be a nice day. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer by tomorrow, 82 for our high. And then by Saturday, that humidity is back in the forecast, 85 for our high. Saturday night and into Sunday, we are going to see the potential of showers and storms. That humidity creeping in, also taking our temperatures a bit above average for a change in our forecast. Now, it feels so nice out today. Felt very nice yesterday. That humidity is low. That's all due to that cooler Canadian dry air that's in place across the area. Over the next couple days, though, Friday, we'll see a little bit more humidity. Won't be too uncomfortable quite yet. And then we are going to see that humidity really spike up as we head into Saturday and Sunday. And to start next week, that's when we are going to see the potential for some unsettled weather, showers and thunderstorms. Really going to see that start Saturday night and into Sunday. The weekend going to be a bit of a split where we see nicer conditions Saturday, 85 for the high, partly sunny skies, a little bit humid outside, and then 88 on Sunday. That's when we have our chances of showers and storms, our better chance rather, of showers and storms moving into the forecast. And then looking ahead, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, starting next work week with some scattered storms possible in the forecast. So definitely want to get out today and enjoy this great weather.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads this Thursday morning. Here's I-69 near I-465. You can see traffic there on the northeast side is traveling smoothly, picking up lots of headlights moving across your screen. Right now around the metro area, there are no crashes to slow you down. Great news as you're heading out the door at this early hour. Raphael?
The Labor Department's weekly unemployment claims comes out today, and economists expect it to be just under 1.5 million new claims, still a very big number. Bloomberg says that 1.42 million people filed new claims in the week ending August the 1st. If the estimate is accurate, it would be a decrease from the week before. The estimates would put claims at a total of more than 55 million Americans since mid-March.
Well, for a while, it seemed like the scammers were maybe chilling out because of the pandemic, but now they are back. And more people say that they're getting scam texts instead of phone calls. In one scheme, the text says your payment, no specifics, was unsuccessful and you should call a number. Experts say you should not reply and you should not call the number. Instead, check your bank account and check for any payments that you've made and then forward the text in question to your carrier.
That is always great advice. Record low mortgage rates make buying a home look really, really attractive right now. But new at 626, why not everyone will qualify for those rates and why you should be aware of some fees that may be involved. And a big good morning to Liston, Lebanon, and Lawrence, all great places to call home. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday right here on RTV6, and what a beautiful sunrise, as you can see there from the city's west side in Indianapolis. Have a great day. We'll see you back here in just a few moments.
Welcome back. It is 6:24. Here is a live look in the downtown area at your commute. I-65 here, a view from St. Clair Street. This is between the north and south splits. Traffic is moving along up to speed on all the ramps and in all directions. We'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads throughout the morning and let you know if there are any areas you need to avoid. But first, Raphael, it's time to get a check of what is trending at 6.
And so, Lauren, sometimes it's those little things that really can make your day. And this, of course, was caught on surveillance camera. You'll never know what you'll catch on a surveillance camera. So Valentina Garza says her daughter's life-size stuffed pony broke its leg, so she had to throw it away. When the garbage crew came by, they saw the discarded toy and decided to take it for one last ride. Garza says watching it made her day.
That's pretty funny there. Glad to see they're having a good time out there. Well, UCLA Mattel Children's Hospital has rushed a new tool into service amid the COVID-19 pandemic. It's Robin, the world's first emotionally intelligent hospital robot. It can interpret facial expressions and have a dialogue. Pediatric surgeon Dr. Justin Wager says that so many patients were feeling isolated because of COVID, limiting the number of visitors. He says that Robin dances with kids, can provide empathy, and if nothing else, offer a little distraction. It's a little bit creepy,
I
but
hope we have that at Riley Hospital and I hope we have that at Riley Hospital for Children. I'm sure they have it. If not, we're going to get that here in Indianapolis because that looks really cool. Good morning to Carrie Coy. She's our hometown hero on this Thursday. Carrie is a medical assistant in Greenwood. Thank you to Carrie and all healthcare workers during this pandemic. By the way, Carrie, your mom is very proud of you. She nominated you to be our hometown hero. So good for you and good for Mom. And good today for Alyssa Donovan, who has a great forecast on this Thursday.
Yeah, this is an easy one to talk about today. All good news from the weather department. Temperatures starting a little cool this morning. You'll notice that change when you step outside. I shouldn't say it's a change. It was cool yesterday too. But you'll need that lighter jacket to start the day. Then you can ditch it this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine to start. A little bit of cloud coverage later today. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s. If we see a little bit less cloud coverage, could warm up a little bit more. Some areas to the south could be close to the low 80s today. Looking ahead to the weekend, we're going to continue that climb with temperatures, low humidity today, but that humidity returns Saturday and Sunday, and so do our chances of showers and storms.
It is 6:26 and mortgage rates are at record low rates, which is good news if you are looking to buy a new home. Working for you, our John Matarese explains what it will take for you to get the best rate.
Good news and bad news about mortgage rates. The good, they're plunging again to record lows. The bad, getting that low rate may not be so easy. Mortgage rates just hit another new low, falling below 3% on a 30-year mortgage at some lenders. But a report in nextadvisor.com says getting that low rate will require a top credit score. It says lenders are worried about people losing their jobs during the pandemic, and if you don't have a 750 credit score at least, you probably won't get that great rate and will have to pay more. And even if you are able to get a 3% rate, the report warns you to watch out for closing costs and fees. If it takes more than 2 years to recoup those costs, you might be better off just keeping your current mortgage. Experts say refinancing your house can be worth it if you can lower your interest rate by at least 1 percentage point. Lower than that, it might not be worth it in a case of don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
And for more cost-saving tips and ideas, you can visit the money section of our website, theindychannel.com. Raphael?
Lauren, thank you so much. This morning, car shoppers may not find a whole lot of deals when it comes to their used vehicles. The average price of a used car up over $700 in July. That's according to Edmunds. The reasons that buyers are flooding the market looking for deals and a shortage of used cars for sale.
And Raphael, not much new car buying going on in the last quarter, ending in June for Toyota. The company says global sales were cut in half by the coronavirus pandemic and profits fell 98%. This morning, Toyota is expecting sales to be down 13% for the year.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. A woman in the hospital after she was struck by a bullet fired from outside her home on the southeast side of Indianapolis. That shooting happened last night on South Denny Street near Southeastern Avenue and East Prospect Street. Police have not said whether they believe the woman was the intended target.
A person is in critical condition after they were hit by a car while walking on South Harding Street. This happened near West Hannah Avenue intersection around 11:30 last night. Right now, the details surrounding the incident are still unclear. We're working to learn more about what happened as police continue to investigate.
Indiana now reporting nearly 70,000 COVID-19 cases since the pandemic began. Here are the latest numbers. The State Department of Health confirms 740 new cases, bringing the total to 69,975. 12 new deaths were also reported. That brings the state's confirmed total to more than 2,800 Hoosiers.
Well, Big Ten football is set to return in 1 month. Practices can begin as soon as Friday. The season kicks off the weekend of September 5th. The plan calls for a 10-game conference-only schedule, and it includes the ability to push back the start of the season as late as September 26th, if necessary.
And starting next week, Walmart will transform some of its parking lots into drive-in theaters. Walmart says 160 stores will hold the event. They will play movies like The Black Panther, E.T., and Back to the Future. In central Indiana, Walmarts in Muncie and Richmond will host showings in October. You can find the full schedule at thewalmartdrivein.com. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, August the 6th. I would love to do that because tonight, if they were doing it tonight anyway, it would be a great time to be outdoors to enjoy a movie.
Yeah, it has been cool here across central Indiana the past few days. And Alyssa, do we have one more day of these kind of fall-like temperatures?
Oh, yeah, we do. It's going to be another beautiful day. If you liked yesterday, you're going to love today. It's going to be a lot more of the same. Right now, we are starting with some partly cloudy skies across the area. Those low-level clouds starting to clear. We'll continue to see those clear throughout the morning, but making for a beautiful sunrise across the city right now on our Weather Now cam. And temperatures starting a bit chilly this morning compared to where we should be this time of year. Just a little bit below average. We're close to 60 in Indianapolis, but cooler around Lafayette. We are at 54, Greenwood at 56, Bloomington at 59 right now. So we are starting with partly to mostly cloudy skies across a lot of the area. A lot of that is low-level clouds, so not seeing it all on the radar, but we are seeing a little bit more cloud coverage to the southeast of us, and that's where we are seeing some warmer temperatures because they've had those clouds to insulate them overnight. What's going to happen next is those clouds are going to clear out. High pressure is in control. That northwest flow helping usher in that cooler and drier air today. So low humidity expected for our forecast for Thursday, 79 degrees for the high, mostly sunny throughout the day, a little bit more cloud coverage this afternoon. Then we're going to continue warming this weekend. All of those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads this morning. This is I-65 and I-70 downtown here at the South Split, where traffic is picking up, as you can see by all the cars moving across your screen. The good news right now, no crashes in downtown, no major issues around the metro area here in central Indiana to slow down your morning commute. Well, Raphael, new this morning, the weeks of people taking to the streets here in Indy demanding change through marches or art, those pieces are going to stand the test of time.
And so our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with how an Indiana museum plans to highlight this time in our history. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren and Raphael. So artwork just like this, painted by Black artists, has lined the streets since protesters filled downtown Indy for the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, artwork just like this will now live at the Indiana State Museum.
And this is an opportunity for us to be sure that people who may not have been downtown at this juncture, but will, as we move forward, be able to really understand a place and a time of what's happening.
Kathy Faree is the CEO and president of the Indiana State Museum. She tells me they are working on a new gallery to showcase the Black Lives Matter movement and how it impacted our state.
We really kind of want to immerse you in this idea of the feelings that are being evoked through these incredible murals.
I love it, and I think it's appropriate, and I hope I'm around in 25 years to visit it.
Kristen Cohn owns Silver in the City. We've showed you before the boards that once covered her store, highlighting the names of Black people who have died at the hands of police brutality or racist acts.
I didn't want to just have boards. To me, it was less about protecting the business and more about making sure that the focus remained on the reasons for the protests that were happening.
Now her boards are down and will have a new home at the museum, something she calls a powerful moment for her and her staff.
Knowing that, now they're in safekeeping, they're going to be preserved, their names will not be forgotten, that just means so much to me.
Now, Kathy Reid tells me they don't have an exact date for when this gallery will be open because they want to do it as quickly as possible, but they also want to make sure that they do it right. But she does say right now the museum is open. You are required to wear a mask, and they have plenty of safety precautions in place to protect you and their staff. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV 6.
I continue to believe that our schools can safely reopen by wearing masks, practicing social distancing, and good hand washing.
The state's health commissioner, Dr. Christina Box, continues to support the reopening of schools with an in-person learning here across Indiana. The message from the doctor comes as 10 local school districts have reported cases of COVID-19, and here is a list of those impacted. Cowan Community Schools and Crawfordsville Community School Corporation are just the latest to report cases. Cowan superintendent says that a member of the transportation department tested positive, and because they were in close contact with bus drivers, there's not enough people to run the bus routes. They have now delayed the start of school until Monday. Crawfordsville also has a staff member test positive, and 5 others are being quarantined. The district says it will continue its plans to also begin class Monday. Also on Wednesday, Avon Schools announced that a student had tested positive there. That came after 2 Avon High School staffers came back with positive tests. Well, Dr. Box and Governor Holcomb say that they are considering a dashboard as a way to track cases in schools across the state of Indiana. They say they're currently looking into the legality of releasing that information. Raphael?
Now let's take you, Lauren, to Delaware County, where Muncie Community Schools are less than a week away from starting their new school year. And they're having in-person classes like many other school districts. But in their case, nearly 800 students have enrolled in the district's virtual learning program. And now, to make sure that they have reliable technology for them to learn, the district is handing out devices and hotspots for those kids. Kindergarten through second graders will get iPads, while students in grades 3 through 12 will get Chromebooks.
We are committed to make sure every family and every student has the resources they need this school year.
I think it's amazing that the school is willing to, support parents in whatever decisions they make and provide them with all the tools they need for our children to be able to succeed at home.
So here's what you need to know. Pickup for those devices continues today and tomorrow. You can find the specific times and guidelines on the district's website. The students attending in person will also get devices on the first day of school, and that of course happens next Tuesday there in Muncie. Of course, sending Hoosier students safely back to school is the goal of all parents and districts across our state. So RTV6 is taking a closer look at your options as you decide the best way for your child to keep learning during this pandemic. And join us for an RTV6 special called Safely Back to School. That's tonight at 7:30 right here on RTV6.
So his parents say he needs to be back in school, but they say that their special needs son is being held back by the school district. Up next, Call 6 Investigates looks into how they're taking their complaint to the federal government. It's 6:37 here on your Thursday. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. 2 Hendricks County school administrators are now responding to criminal charges filed Friday by prosecutors. Stacy Bagley is the dean of students at Tri-West High School, and her husband Nathan Bagley is the school's athletic director. They're charged with failing to report allegations made last year involving teacher Tyler Bruce and a female student. The attorneys for the Bagleys released a statement to Call 6 Investigates, calling the charges unfounded. The school board placed the Bagleys on administrative leave 5 months ago after the State Department of Education filed a complaint against their teaching licenses. A couple from Fishers has filed a formal complaint against the Hamilton Southeastern schools because they're trying, Lauren, to get their son back in school.
So Raphael, the Degg family claims the school district is failing to provide crucial services to their son and other students with special needs. Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny reports.
Dylan is a 10-year-old boy with a lot of challenges, including quadriplegic cerebral palsy. His parents, Greg and Aaron Degg, adopted Dylan through foster care when he was 4 years old.
He requires pretty much 24-hour care. He is tube fed, so he gets administered all of his nutrition through a tube in his stomach. He He's nonverbal.
At school, Dylan gets occupational, physical, and speech therapy, as well as academic instruction. But that all came to a stop in March when HSE and other schools closed amid COVID-19.
Because he was so depressed and he's crying. He thrives at school. It's his favorite place in the world.
The Daigs had hoped Dylan would return to New Britain Elementary this month, but Hamilton Southeastern Schools is starting its school year with virtual instruction only. The Daigs filed a formal complaint with the Indiana Department of Education this week, saying virtual learning isn't adequate for their son.
How he's supposed to give himself his own breaks and that he's supposed to do a movement break. He's supposed to do 45 minutes of reading. Dylan can't get out of his chair without assistance. Dylan can't read. So they gave us this whole plan of things he can't do.
Their attorney, Tom Blessing, says the district is violating federal law, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act.
We're not trying to punish the school district. We're trying to get Dylan back in school and get him the services that he needs.
The complaint questions how HSE can allow athletics inside schools, employees to receive childcare at school buildings, and permit YMCA programs on school property, but not reopen schools for students with special needs.
And he was provided a week of what they called, or 4 days of transitional learning, which is what he does every summer to prep himself for reentry to the school district. And he went to school. I have photos of him getting on the bus, going to school, for them to then just shut it down and ignore me, which was really upsetting.
The Department of Education is expected to hold a hearing on this complaint. The Daigs and Blessing say they are doing this not just to help Dylan, but any child that relies on public school systems for therapies and services.
We might be one of the louder voices right now, but there are dozens of voices behind us in this district that are scared to death and they don't know what to do for their kids.
Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Kara will continue to follow this very important story. We did reach out to Hamilton Southeastern Schools for their response to the complaint. They tell us that they are reviewing that complaint, but according to the district's website, it says that students will continue to receive a special education according to their individualized education plan, also known as an IEP, to the greatest extent possible. Lauren?
Well, a new look could be coming to part of Indianapolis. Next, the makeover IU Health wants to give its downtown hospitals. Alyssa.
And we are in store for another great weather day. Temperatures in the upper 70s, a slow and steady climb as we head into the weekend. All of those details coming up next. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:46 on your Thursday. Here is a look at traffic on the near east side, I-70 at Rural Street and Keystone Avenue. Our camera just froze up a little bit here, but everything has been traveling smoothly here, coming in and out of the downtown area on the east side. IU Health is proposing a $1.6 billion expansion project to consolidate its downtown Indianapolis hospital campuses and create a new 576-bed hospital. IU Health wants to combine Methodist and University hospitals and open the new facility in 2026. The Methodist Hospital complex would undergo renovations and be integrated into the larger campus. The company says the coronavirus pandemic influenced the design of the new hospital, so it will have adaptable spaces and enough ICU beds to handle surges of patients.
And Lauren, for families who need help during this difficult time, resources are available. This morning, Gleaners Food Bank will host a mobile pantry at the Anthem headquarters on Virginia Avenue in downtown Indianapolis. Fresh fruits, vegetables, meats, and dairy items will be distributed today from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and the weather will be perfect for those of you who need to head out. And Alyssa Donovan, Mrs. Sanchez returns to the classroom today, so I need a nice sunny day to put her in a good mood as she begins teaching kindergarten again for her 28th year.
Ooh, congratulations to her. That's wonderful. And I will say, it's going to be a great day to start that. It's going to be beautiful, low humidity, a nice, comfortable, and good weather day. Starting with those temperatures this morning in the 50s, that comfortable weather continuing similar to what we saw yesterday. Going to just repeat that kind of day today. Storm potential will increase as we head into the weekend. That humidity is going to rise as well. It's not going to be quite as comfortable on Saturday and Sunday. And then we are going to kick off some unsettled weather as we start next work week. Right now we have a beautiful sunrise sunrise over Indianapolis this morning. Just some light clouds moving across the area. 59 in Indianapolis. That humidity and dew point is low, which means when you step outside, it's going to be fairly comfortable. Low humidity means it actually will feel a little bit cool outside. You might want to grab the light jacket. Winds are out of the north about 5 miles per hour. That's just helping push in that cooler Canadian air that is in place across the area. That's going to continue to impact us today, keeping us very dry. That cool air. High pressure is in control. We have a small disturbance just to the south of us this morning. That's bringing us just a little bit of cloud coverage for our friends to the southeast of Indianapolis. As we head through the day, we'll continue to clear most of our skies, continuing to see a little bit of cloud coverage in those areas to the southeast. And then we are going to continue to build in a little bit more cloud coverage by the afternoon and early evening, but still going to see plenty of sunshine, nothing to impede us from that daytime heating, and it's going to be a bright and beautiful day. Temperatures in the upper 70s across the area, could even hit the low 80s depending on just how much sunshine we see. Mostly sunny skies, low humidity, light winds out of the northeast about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at the next couple days, we're going to continue this slow and steady climb into the 80s again. So we've been in the 70s yesterday. Today we'll stay in the 70s for the most part tomorrow. Some areas will hit those low 80s, and then we'll climb back into the mid 80s by Saturday and Sunday. That's also when that humid air mass will push up from the south, bringing the potential for some showers and thunderstorms and really kicking us off with some unsettled weather. So Saturday's going to be a rather good weather day. A little bit humid outside though as that system tracks up. 85 for the high as you're planning your weekend on Saturday, and then overnight Saturday into Sunday, that's when we'll start to see that potential of showers and storms. Better chance of those showers and storms happening Sunday and into Monday. But you can see the start of next week not going to be quite as beautiful as what we're seeing today. Scattered storms possible nearly every day. And then Thursday, today, temperatures in the upper 70s. It's going to be a great weather day. Definitely want to get outside.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Let's take a look at traffic if you are getting out there this morning. This is I-70 near State Road 267 to our west. Now, keep in mind, we still have the ramps from State Road 267 in both directions onto I-70 eastbound closed. It's a long-term project set to last through early November. So, of course, we'll keep you updated on that. The good news, though, traffic down below on the interstate is traveling up to speed, both eastbound and westbound.
So, Alyssa and Lauren, pay close attention. Throwback Thursday is next. And we go back in time 30 years ago when I was only 5 years old, not for an important question. Exactly, how do you make elephant ears? You'll see the answer from the experts RTV6 spoke to at a very special summertime place. You're watching.
Welcome back. It is 6:54 and we're monitoring traffic here in Good Morning Indiana. I-465, a view near Ditch Road on the north side where everything's moving along up to speed in all directions. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any crashes or delays.
It is time for Throwback Thursday, and Lauren, right now we would normally be thinking about funnel cakes and deep fried Oreos, foods that we would normally enjoy at the State Fair because the State Fair would have started this week, but of course canceled because of the pandemic.
Oh, and it would have been great weather for us to enjoy all those things too, so it's kind of a bummer. And while there's a lot more variety to what you can eat right now at the fair, there are some classics that tend to stand the test of time. Sure, we won't be able to make the trip to the dairy bar this year to rush to finish our ice cream before it melts all over our hands, but we can go back in time to find out about the favorite fair foods from the past. At the 1990 State Fair, former RTV6 reporter Barbara Lewis found several kids with one particular deep-fried favorite.
And then there are elephant ears, the sticky stuff with a rather bizarre recipe.
Kill the elephant, they took the elephant ears off and they cooked the elephant ear.
Do you think there's any real elephants in there?
No.
There's no elephants in those elephant ears? Well, then what do you think's in them?
Sugar.
Oh, well, you won't be able to enjoy the thrill of fighting off the Yellow Jackets for a sip of a lemon shake-up this year. You can enjoy the rest of this story. It's all on our website, theindychannel.com/history. Oh, that makes me hungry for some fair food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes me miss the fair.
I know.
Hopefully next year we'll be back to normal and
Yeah.
get back to, you know, stuff.
Eating all that junk
Fair week
food.
is always so fun, too.
I know.
Bummer.
It's also fat-free and low-cal.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Of course.
Yeah, the skinniest week of the year, the fair.
Oh, man.
We are going to see some gorgeous weather today. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s. Really a great weather day. If the fair was going on, this would be the day to go. Temperatures going to continue climbing as we head into the weekend. Mostly sunny on Friday as well. Continuing to see those nicer conditions. Then we will build that humidity back in on Saturday, and then our chances of showers and storms increase Saturday night and into Sunday as we see the system move up from the south, bringing that warm and humid tropical air. On Sunday, that's going to be our warmest day, and then we are back into the mid-80s next week, but those chances of showers and storms sticking with us.
Alyssa, thanks, and thank you for joining us here. We're back in 25 minutes, and all throughout Good Morning America, we'll have your local news, weather, and traffic updates. Don't forget, all your news can be found throughout the day on the RTV6 mobile app. We want to thank you for joining us and watching Good Morning Indiana, leaving you a live look here at the sun coming up over the Circle City. Enjoy that weather. Have a great Thursday.